Okay, I'll record it. I'll just upload it on YouTube. Mbasindikire gundi. Mbasindikire the link as well. So that's ChatGPT. Mike, for who have just joined, we're just going over the tools just as a brief overview, what I personally think about them and what its strength is. I've already talked about Mistral, a French thing. This one, it's really good on editing text, speaking in your language. You want to write anime, you want to write a report, you want to write a post, and you already have a draft, and you just want it to, like, you know, not change much. If you do that same thing in GPT, it will add in so much nonsense and start speaking like it's Shakespeare or some person who, you know. And yet if you throw it to Mistral will just capture it really well in a human sounding element. I don't know how to explain, but the more you use it, you'll see what I mean. So that's the second one, ChatGPT. Moving on to my favorite, Gemini, but not in the platform import thing. Actually, this is Gemini. I already have it open. Now, Gemini is my favorite because all of you are already in the Google ecosystem. Okay, take today. This was literally before I hopped on this meeting. A friend of mine here, is here, Yehuda, sent me these things like, hey, he has his engagement, he's inviting me. I copied the picture, pasted it in Gemini, told it add to my calendar, and it did. Gemini is for productivity. Like, first of all, it's for Googling. If you want to Google something factual, use Gemini. I mean, it's based on Google. No one has the biggest search engine on this planet is Google. So even though ChatGPT and Perplexity and all these guys try, it's always better to go back to the source of the guy, like the guy who actually started this industry, you know. So if you want to Google something, use Google's AI mode, use Gemini. Okay. But also in terms of like technicalities, writing code, CFA, okay, technical things, no. But productivity, add this to my calendar, send this email to this guy, it can do all that stuff. Send this guy as a reminder, it can do all that stuff. Okay, so that's Gemini for you. If you don't have the,
that's an interesting use case. I usually use it for just comparing responses with ChatGPT.
Yeah, that too. So, but it's actually like productive. And the good thing with Gemini is for them, they give you their base model, and the context window is really a lot for Gemini. So to give you what context window, I don't know if you guys have reached it, but there are places you reach where they tell you you've reached your limits, right? Or I'll come back later. I don't know if you guys have hit that. So these things use things called tokens, which I won't go into. Exactly. So ChatGPT has around 200k. Let me first get a thing here rolling. ChatGPT has around 200k token limit. Let me see. Let me try to put that into perspective. 200k token limit in Harry Potter books. So that's about 7 Harry Potter books. You know, that's the limit for ChatGPT. Let me actually do that same answer because I don't trust Copilot. So, you see why you should always cross-check and why you should use Google. How many books of Harry Potter is 200k tokens? So most AIs give you see this. The other one told me 7, this one told me 2, because the Microsoft Copilot is based on ChatGPT. We'll get to the model what they are seated on in a while. So that's about 200. That's about 2 Harry Potter books. 200k limit. That's your ChatGPTs. That's your Claudes. That's your Mistrals. That's your all the others we'll get into. But Gemini has a 1 million token limit. 1M. Don't worry about what tokens mean. Just know that this is it's kind of characters, but not the way you think of it. Okay. 1 million is about the 7 books. So that's a lot. Basically, you can, what that means is if I got the entire Harry Potter and threw it inside the chat in ChatGPT, it will tell me nope. But if I got 7 Harry Potters and copied all of them at once and threw them inside the chat in here, you know, if I got my 1,000 PDFs, let me see. And Gemini is really good at this. Let me see if I can find a lot of PDFs. You see all these PDFs. So for example, if these were Harry Potters, Gemini could take all of them, process all of them, and understand all of them. ChatGPT would not. It would tell you, so that's too much. Okay, so that's the advantage. That's an advantage with Gemini. It's a huge context limit.
Another thing about ChatGPT, if you're using the free version, you can't use it to analyze, say, Excel sheets or anything to do with data.
Exactly, because that's token limits.
Blocks you out.
Exactly, because it's a lot. It's a lot. Because for you, you're reading only the columns in the Excel, but for it has to write code to write the Excel, to read the Excel. It has to, and all that code is still counted as part of the tokens. Okay, it just doesn't look at it the way you look at it. For you may see your Excel only has 2 limits, but for it to even 2 rows, for it to even read that Excel, there's code behind it. All that is counted. So, but that's where Gemini stands strong. So you can go straight into Gemini using the link I've said, gemini.google. It does the same things as ChatGPT, way better. We'll talk about tools in a few, but I want to show you now my favorite use of Gemini. But before there, let's first go briefly into the models. So let me just start a new document here. So think of these like the foundations, right? You have Gemini, you have GPTs, you have Claudes, you have DeepSeek, you have Quen, how do I spell it? Quen, and then you have Mistrals. There's more, but I won't stick to these. So every single thing is seated on a model. This is like, they call them foundational models. So every single Gemini Google related thing is seated on Gemini, plus other things. Recently, actually, even Siri is going to be seated on Gemini models in Apple. Okay, they announced that. Every single thing is seated on models. These models have versions. Currently, Google's best is Gemini 3. There's 4, there's no 4, there's 2, 2.5, 2.5 fast, but they're all Gemini, and then there are different versions within that. GPTs, this is Google. This is Google. This is OpenAI. Okay, these are the companies that own these models. Now, GPT is the same thing. That's the model on which everything of theirs is seated on. Wait, what did I do? That's the model on which everything of theirs is seated on. Okay, so ChatGPT has, let me see. Wait, I can't even change models on the free plan. What the fuck? See, I didn't even know. Unlike Gemini, where you can actually choose whatever model you want. You can go pro, you can choose a thinking. This is the free plan. I haven't paid for this. I haven't paid for what? For Gemini. I've paid for Google Cloud. Like I pay for Google storage, but I haven't paid for Gemini. But you can switch models, you know, they are richer, so of course they give you more leeway. But even here, these guys also have 5.2, 4.3. The one that started it all, the one that got to know was GPT-3. That's the one that went viral, the one that started this whole shit. Then from there, they've been, right now they're on 5.2. That's your ChatGPTs. This is where all your ChatGPTs are seated. ChatGPTs.
Add Copilot to that list.
Oh yeah, on Copilot. Yes, thank you actually. Now Copilot is this fuckery here. If you use Edge browser, it's this thing here. It is the dumbest. I would not recommend use it for anything because it has never worked. Please don't. It will give you wrong shit. It will not work. Do not touch Copilot at all. That's why I don't even talk about it. It's by Microsoft trying to do, it's in your, if you use Microsoft Windows, it's in there somewhere. I'm sure they've already shoved it in there. It's dumb as fuck. It's stayed on OpenAI's GPTs, but with like less. If ChatGPT itself, the main source is bad, now imagine the guy who's doing something from the source. Okay, then Claude, the GOAT to me. This is by Anthropic. This is the best. We shall get into it, but this is Now they also have their Claude models, 4.5 Opus, they have models, okay? Then of course the Chinese DeepSeek, this is also Chinese. We'll get to why these things are, they also like, this is from France. Of course others, Saudi has its own, Canada has its own, but these are like the, let me see what I have here. And then there's, I don't know what Perplexity is seated on, but I'll get to that. So this is what the foundation is, and then they build things on top of that. So anything Google is sitting on Gemini models. Now Gemini, this is like the chatbot. So let me show you my favorite use of Gemini models, okay? There's this link, aistudio.com. This is Gemini models, but in the background and more dev related. You can see when the interface changes, but you still have the same Gemini models. Actually here you can see them. Gemini 3 Pro preview, this is the latest. Nano Banana, this is the one creating all the AI images you're seeing online. It's really good. It's the best right now in images. 3 Flash, Nano Banana again, 2.5. All the Gemini models from like day one, they're all here and you can choose them, right? For free. Why am I showing you this? If you need actual work, long context, you want to work on a document that is huge, you want to work on a report, you want to work on a, I don't know, something that is real and you don't want ChatGPT to tell you, sorry, you've really hit your limits, I would go to AI Studio. It has 1 million token, which is a lot. I've literally pasted entire, you see phone calls like this, entire transcripts, and from like 20 meetings, 20 Zoom meetings, entire transcripts, and I pasted them, and this thing analyzed them, understood them, told me what to do next. Like, this thing is a beast. Heavy work. Open that link, bookmark it somewhere. This is your guy, okay? Just to explain a few things that you're seeing on the screen, here is where you get to choose the model. If I want to create images, I'll go to Nano Banana. If I want to
Is that the model I need to give my trading strategy? It makes for me like a robot. I'm tired of analyzing chat.
Now, it may not make you the robot, but you can give it your history. The professor who actually taught us told me there's a time he took screenshots, just screenshots from his Robinhood account, Charlie Schwab or Robinhood, took screenshots and pasted them in Gemini, and it analyzed. Like, there's a person here was complaining about Excels. Throw that Excel in AI Studio. AI Studio will take it, analyze it. So for your trading strategy, it can, but getting it to, since it's interface, it's in a web browser, getting it to create for a bot, we'll get to that. It can, but from a different way of doing it. But what I would say is get your trading history. I don't know what files it exports, maybe an Excel or maybe a PDF or whatever, and paste it in here with all the charts and everything. Take screenshots and paste them in here and see. So it can take all that content and it understands. Again, this is built on Google. Google is the biggest data whatever on this planet. Those guys own all the data of everyone and everything. So whatever it is they do, and AI models are just data. The more data you have, the smarter your model is. I won't lie. At the end of the day, that's all it is. And these guys, no one is beating Google at anything. They have Gmail data, they have search engine data, they have every single website on the planet and its data. They have videos, YouTube, they have your photos, Google Photos, they have they have the data. So if they are to train a model, clearly they will do better. ChatGPT has to pay to get that same data. Google just has it and people give it to them for free every day. So this is what I would use for everything. You can see code and reasoning, it's really good. It's not better than Claude, but we'll get to that. You have some tools there that you can change. You can ground it in Google search. That means whatever answer it's telling you, it has verified it by doing a Google search. ChatGPT doesn't have these functions. Again, this is free. This is not the paid one. But the function it gives you is like what you'd have to pay ChatGPT $100 a month to get. Okay, you can also use URL context. You click this on. What this does is if there's a link in the document or the words that you get in it, it opens that link and checks it. Okay, let me just give you some. This is recently crafting a strong resume. Actually, yeah, let me show you this. The only disadvantage with this thing is its UI is weird to scroll through. So I'll just job equals, paste in the job description. It writes me, I reached my limit. yesterday night. Oh yeah, because I've been doing it for like 2 hours of pasting jobs, and so I hit the 7 Harry Potter books. Actually, there's a point I even pasted an entire video description. I went to a YouTube video, copied the transcript, and pasted it in here. So it can take a lot, but it's been creating for me the cover letter, the resume tailored. So if I'm go back to the beginning of this chat, which is
I can give it a video link and it watches and gives me feedback on whatever I need from it.
Yeah, but that you can even do straight from YouTube. YouTube does that these days. You don't need to, you can just do video summary. If the video is old enough to have the transcript. Let's see this. Let's open, yeah, it's been Winter Olympics here, so let's take this video. That YouTube does direct. I don't know if,
back to another episode of Decoding.
I don't know
Today I'm sitting
if the feature has reached Uganda, but because I know these things are usually geo-locked. But I remember seeing something like ask questions. You can ask questions about the video, and there's also usually it's here, summarize. Now I don't know if this feature is by Edge the browser or by Google itself. Okay, but also to make it easy, most videos at the end here, you see this show transcript, right? This is what I did yesterday. It shows the entire jazz of the video. It's still getting it. What I do is copy that entire jazz, go to AI Studio and paste it, and then I ask whatever I want. Okay, this can take it. ChatGPT can do that shit to tell you, sorry, token limit, but AI Studio can take it. Yes, Ahmed.
No, continue. It's okay.
Okay. Then there's something here called temperature. Temperature, you may never encounter this apart from here, but maybe Tebandeke, you who's technical, you encounter it in your programming languages. Temperature is basically how random do you want it to think. If you want it to be accurate, like I want it to give me facts only, I usually set this to 0.5. Okay? The higher this number, the more random the answers. Like it's not really factual, it's thinking outside the box and all these things. Okay? The default is 1. It's a good balance of facts. Like
is that where you go when you're trying to do your PhD?
Of course.
And you need to do some quick.
Exactly. This is the one. You Baros who's doing CFA, use this. If you're not paying for Claude, use this.
Because man, I have assignments I need to do and I don't have time to do research.
This is your guy.
For those who are like doing video generation,
yeah, this is also a beast.
The temperature function then now changes to number of results.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not really played with it video, but I know it's good. Most AI videos that you're seeing online, most AI pictures, they're using this.
I may have been experimenting with the VO model, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So there you have it. It also has this build function, which is really good. Like this is insanely good, but it blows tokens really fast. Like build is basically build. Let me show you what I tried to build recently, if it will even load. I think this was me trying. Oh yeah, I told it to create a portfolio, and it did. I think I pasted my resume. Let me see what I gave it. It's still this one. So it built for me a portfolio, basically a website for me. So for you who have companies, you can come to build, copy your company profile, some pictures, paste, throw them in the chat, and then tell it build me a company website. It will do. Very easy. And then all you have to do now is I think you download the app, give it to your web hosting guy, and he hosts it. You can even edit it as you go. You tell it add in this color, remove this, add this. Okay, this is the build function. It builds things. The only problem is you'll hit limits really fast because it's building. I've also tried to, like, it can build things. That's all I can tell you. It can build. You who was saying you're trading bot, this can. The only problem is now getting that bot from it. Can only build things like web apps, all this stuff. The back end logic, trading apps are more about the back end logic.
What's what you want is the code. You just get the code, the fine script, and then you compile it with MetaTrader.
I think for Biarhanga's case, for MetaTrader 4 and 5, I think it's about the language. Is it the language? Is it MDL5 and MDL4?
Yeah,
depending on what you're using.
Yeah, MQL5, I think.
MQL. Yeah,
Yeah,
MQ.
as long as the AI is able to understand the logic and create for you that code, you just compile it to your side.
I think here you just have to give it your strategy.
Yeah,
It
okay,
will
yes.
compile the code for you.
But for the rest of you who want to build a quick client website, these are your tools. For things, by the way, right now no one should be paying to build a website. Like if you're still paying someone to build your website, jangu tukuwe MP. In this day and age, you should not.
People are paying me to build websites.
Are you serious? Even Gemini itself can do this. If you go to Gemini and you go to Canvas, which thing is it? Oh, I still have WhatsApp open.
Wait, Emma, you're forgetting that after the AI creating that code, there is a way you have to post that code somewhere, then there are payments you have to make. It's a lot. People don't know that back-end knowledge.
No,
So you
actually,
can use the AI.
Emma is in America where things are free.
no, actually, what the thing is, most people don't know even how to leverage it. The assumption is that AI is there that everyone knows.
Yeah.
Like people should be known. Now, the thing is that most people do not know how to leverage it or even know how it works.
Exactly.
Yeah?
So this is what I'm also
Now,
trying
like,
to do.
my boss, my boss at work, I recently showed him, because guys, you're aware of that browser Comet, by Perplexity.
Yeah.
So I introduced him to Comet, and I showed him a function about Comet whereby if your email is open, the office email, and I told him it can pull out for him a list of critical things he needs to attend to, create a to-do list and everything, and all in one. And if he wants it to reply to his emails, it can do it for him and draft for him for his approval. And he was wowed.
Yeah, people don't know. People
So,
don't know this thing.
very many people don't know some of these things.
So even just Gemini, if you come to this Canvas,
Just hearing that stuff for the first time, man.
if you come to Gemini and you click this Canvas thing, this thing can also build your website. Paste in your company profile, paste in a few images of yourself, it will build your website. I have students who build their portfolios. Okay, this is just one of them. To close off the topic of website, if you need to build websites for real, this is your best tool. It's called v0.dev. I think I've talked about this in the group a billion times. Now v0 will even host it for you. You just click post and that's it. v0 was the OG before even Gemini and those guys did it. These guys were doing it. This is your website builder. Let me see what I don't know if let me see what I've built. Okay, it's been a while since I was here, but this one, what was this? Oh yeah, so this one I had an Excel sheet where I was tracking students that I was I had an Excel sheet where I was tracking students that I've interviewed for the podcast. I pasted the image. It's even here. I took a screenshot of the image of the Excel sheet, told it a simple website for a platform that keeps track of this info and that I can sort by what's marked and done. This is literally what I told it. It built this. Okay? And it works. This works. Now the good thing with V0 is all I have to do here is hit publish. When I hit publish, it will give me a link that now works. I can send that link out. I can put in my resume. Like I don't need to go and host it somewhere else separately. I don't need to pay GoDaddy or whoever to host. Okay, that's a good thing with Visual. You create your website, it publishes. If you have a domain, I'm sure there's somewhere in there where you can add your own domain. I haven't looked into that. Okay, Gemini won't do that. To give you the website, but you have to download it and re-upload it on your own thing. I don't know. Maybe I've never tried. But anyway, this is Gemini models. If you want to use Gemini, yes, use Gemini this, but it's not as good as using it in. It's the same stuff, but this is built for programmers, back end, like technical stuff. Okay, whatever it is you want to do in Gemini, you'd rather do it in AI Studio. It's the same models, but this gives you more leeway, more control, more video generation, image generation. It's really insane, you see. And always turn on URL context, always turn on grounding in Google search so that you can get you people who are doing PhDs. Yes. So this BMI profile, get this, throw it into, if you want a website, throw it in V0. V0 may have limits because but throw it in V0, throw in your images. How big is this PDF? Yeah, this is huge. Okay, remove the company documents and all this stuff. Only keep like the profile. Like this is a website. So you remove all the company documents and all the legal documents. That means this profile stops around. Yeah, that means minus the legal documents, the profile stops around 4 pages on our services, right? Let me put this on the screen so that guys can see. Minus all the legal documents, your thing is just basically 4 pages. Because things start from. You throw that in here, tell it create from a professional website, all in here. You can even try that now. You will see what it creates, okay? Then your problem now becomes worrying about hosting and yada yada, okay? And you can even do follow-up questions. So those this will take a while. Okay. Next thing. Claude, my favorite. Now, if you're a programmer, if you're a mathematician, if you're anyone who has done anything, this is your AI. If you need facts, I don't need you to hallucinate. I don't need to tell me lies. I don't need to correct you. I tell you something, you do it properly the first time, go. This is your thing. This is the GOAT. Claude is the GOAT. It has it rarely, if I ask ChatGPT to write me code, it will probably give me wrong code. I can't just straight up. I've done it. My entire master's program was done by this guy, this Claude guy. I can't lie to you. Computational math and statistics, writing R, what? This is what's putting programmers out of work. When you hear people saying, this. I recently even read the Wall Street Journal article. When these guys release an update, industry changes, like shit changes. I can show you that. I don't know if I still have it. This was yesterday even when I read it. Well, this is a Wall Street Journal article that came out yesterday. Claude released the new model and the industry lost 1 trillion. Like, this is the thing. When you hear AI is going to take jobs, this is what they are talking about. These are the things actually doing things that are taking people's jobs. Claude. All the other ChatGPTs, but Claude. So there is the new model 4.6. I think yesterday but 1. And the industry lost 1.6. Like, it's that powerful. Because they know for them, their shit works. It can do what your junior programmer can do. Like, for real. This thing does not play around.
Can I attest to that one actually?
Eh?
I can attest to that.
Yeah.
I've been able to build something almost end to end, and it's just being the whole thing. So you get to a point where you don't necessarily need someone to
exactly. This is your guy. Lucky for me, I pay for it the whole year. There are very people who get that plan, but some random day in 2020, early last year, I woke up and they asked me to pay for a year. So I clicked and they paid the whole year. It's expensive. It's like $200 a year. That comes to about $16 a month. Most of these AIs are $20 a month if you want to pay for them. Most of them are around $20 a month. But me, I'm paying this one for a year and I've never regretted it.
When you pay for a year, they even give you a discount.
Yeah. So I end up paying like $16 a month instead of. Yesterday, it was making for me my resume. The thing gave me a proper PDF, well formatted. Like, I cannot explain how insane Claude is. You just have to use it to see. It doesn't hallucinate. If it gives you code, you just run it and go. You get an error, copy the error, paste it in there. It will. So, you need real shit, you need real work, you need stuff to work. I need to be accurate. I don't want to waste time. Use Claude. CFA guys, use Claude.
That's the guy I use for my coursework. That's the guy I need to use to develop project proposals for government projects.
Yes. Project proposals, I would use
even Gemini for proposals.
Yeah, for proposals, since it's more in lingo.
What's so funny?
And I used Gemini yesterday, it gave me rubbish.
No, don't use
what's so
Gemini
funny
in the.
is-
Don't use Gemini through this. Use Gemini through AI Studio. I don't know how, but somehow the ones in the chatbot give you wrong shit because they are prompted differently. These ones they are made for mass appeal. They're supposed to speak to so many people, but this one they are just left. They're like let the person decide what you do. This one it's like since all kids and everyone's going to be using this, there are some measures in place, but in the background it's like by the time you reach here, they assume you know what you're doing and you want that thing to just. So for project proposals, I would use Claude. So I would use this because that one is more about thinking and it's not technical. Then maybe for technical, like I need you to write me math that's legit. I need you to give me use this. It also has 200k token limit. The Harry Potter books. It also has 200k. But the paid one, it's so good that even the paid one has limits. The paid GPT I used to, I've never finished it. But even this one, even the paid one has limits. After a while, especially if you're using the heavier models.
Emma, if I may talk about Cloud,
Eh.
in December I paid $100 for the month
For a month? Oh!
because, because I was increasing those limits. I was doing a project last minute. I couldn't afford those things, or 7 year prompts have been exhausted. But in one day, I was able to do an investment proposal.
Exactly.
For a 200 billion project.
Exactly.
And when it created PowerPoints and everything, we went, presented, and guys clapped. I was like, where is the subscription button?
Yeah, Claude is. Claude even like now me, you see, this is what you talked about. It produces documents. Usually I tell it not to, because when it's producing a document, it's blowing through tokens. It's creating code for those documents. It's creating. So usually if I don't need it to I just tell it give me the words, then I like copy them and paste them myself. You see such a thing. Let me go back to the resume thing. You see such a thing. If it just gives me a reply like this, it's not wasting a lot of tokens. A reply like this. But if it creates a document, it's blowing a lot of tokens, because outside these, just these tokens are like words, but not so much. But think of them like the number of characters it's using, right? If it's just this, for you may think it's just blowing this. These are less than 200, K tokens. But it's not just this. There's code, and you can see it sometimes. You can see it working, and it's doing a lot of stuff, writing a lot of stuff. All those things are counted. That's why it hits your limits. So in the future, if you don't need it to give you the PowerPoint, just tell it to give you the words or just the image alone, and then you compile it somewhere else. That way you won't blow through the things very fast. But if it creates the documents, it blows through them very fast. Let me show you the other kind of resume thing. So for that one, it gave me the PDF. Blue tokens, I think in the chat I even told it next time don't give me the what, just give me the job description. Now versus when it gives it to me like this. If it gives it to me like this, I just copy, paste it in my Word document, and I'm kawa. You see? So for this I will be able to chat longer. So for most of Claude, actually most of these guys, if you don't want it to blow limits very fast, don't tell it to create documents, because it can. For Tebandeke knows, it can even create for you a Jupyter notebook. But the one time it did that, it created it and hit my limits. In one go, I was like, what the hell? Because it uses a lot of other things in the background to create those documents and create the PDFs. But I think everyone now can attest. Yes.
Yeah, but I would also say it's worth the investment if you pay for it.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I actually decided to pay for all softwares that I use, because for long we are used to cracking software. What is
torrents?
I decided to abandon those habits.
So
what you pay for is worth it.
Yeah, it is.
I agree, Baros, by the way, because you say for me, for the longest time, I was paying for that $20 thing, but you quickly run out of
You guys will never find me paying for Microsoft Word Mutuveco.
I see why.
No, I pay for everything, including
For Claude, trust me, you're going to pay for it. Same thing goes for Casa, if you're a developer.
Yeah.
But because you get to a point where this ban actually
Bernard, how much is AutoCAD paid for? Isn't it like 5K?
But
I
those
no
are
longer use AutoCAD. AutoCAD is expensive and thinking. But
industrial
as
things.
an organization, you should
Yeah.
pay for it.
Yeah.
Actually, no. There is a guy who pays for.
And if you want a crack, just give me a call, filec.com, Tatumanyira with AutoCAD 5K.
Also, if you want a crack for AutoCAD, I have them.
So Bernard, you're saying there's a guy who pays for
The
what?
one that came out last week, it is available.
So Emma, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm struggling with a 23-story building, and I'm designing the foundation. Is it possible to crack this?
That's Claude.
Now, why are you using cracked software on such serious projects?
No, I want to use Claude to design the foundation.
Yeah, it can
No,
give you a
Claude
good
does
start.
not.
It may not give you like technical AutoCAD stuff, but it will give you a starting foundation. Depends on how you approach it. So, to talk about some of these, you have the different models inside. Opus is heavy, it's intense, it blows through tokens really fast. Sonnet 4.5 is good enough, okay, for most tasks. Another trick I would say is, and I'm going to talk about optimizers soon. I would say you always tell it to set reasoning / thinking to max or to high. Okay, what this does is these things have a reasoning meter. Like, do I need to blow a lot of resources on this or not? Okay, when GPT released 5.2, it wasn't a model. It was a model, but also a model that decides how to use other models. Think of it like this: if I want to go to Chireka, should I use, Ginger Road? Should I use, So depending on the situation, if you have a heavy truck load, goes to Debinji, it's better to use a paved nice road instead of panyas. If you're on a judge, you see. So it's the same thing. And with Opus 4.5, it's the same thing. It's also deciding. When you ask it something, it decides. Should I throw this to the heavy model? Do I need to use heavy resources? Or is the simple task that I can just throw to Sonnet 4.5 or even Haiku? Okay? So if you want your thing to be heavy by default, you want it to think a lot. First of all, you can switch on thinking mode. Where is it? Here, extended thinking. And also you tell it to set the thinking higher. That means it takes its time, it reviews everything really nicely and gives you really good stuff. So to wrap up here, the models, I think those are. Then of course you have the deep six of this world. You have the queens of this world. Just to go through them really quick. How do I spell queen? Wait, it's here. Yeah, queen. These are Chinese models. Now why I like DeepSeek is it can handle long context and it's not bad. I'd actually say it's better than GPT. For me.
Actually,
I actually use it more than chat.
I use DeepSeek. What I do actually, DeepSeek. I use DeepSeek to optimize prompts that I want to put into Gemini so that I get the results I want.
Nice.
So I give it all my nonsense and I tell it what I want to do. And then it generates the optimized prompt for that particular AI I want to use.
Yeah.
Then I copy the prompt and I put it into the AI.
Yeah.
Along with the attachments that I needed to do.
Yes.
It does the work.
DeepSeek for a free version.
I just go straight to the GPT. I tell it how optimize this prompt. After it has optimized, I tell it, okay, now you follow that prompt.
Yeah. So I'm also going to give you prompt optimizers very soon. Tebandeke may benefit from those. But there's also Quen, it's also another. Now, for these DeepSeeks and Quens, their use case is not the chatbot. Their use case is their models. Now, there's models, like I said, there's this Gemini, What most of them are using are the chatbot functions of these. Basically this, the UI where you go type a thing, it tells you, you go type a thing. That's just the chatbot front face, right? But there's a back end. Like I can get this model and use it for other things other than a chatbot. I can get this, I can get this, I can get, you see. And that's a bit technical. It's for maybe LLM engineers. But you can find all these models, the Quens, the whatevers. And now I can download that model and then tell it to do what I want. And I also create a chatbot like this, but it's based off my model that is offline, that is not depending on GPT, that is not blowing my tokens. Okay, that's what most people use these things for. When you hear, hey, this research was done on Michi, these things can also do that. And most people use DeepSeek and Quen because they are really good, and they are light, and they are free. And Mistral also is there in the play. When you see these charts of best AI model, whatever. So I can get a thing like Quen. This is Quen Coder. Okay, so that means this particular model is really good at coding. I download it like the way you download software. I customize it, do some coding things, tell it what I want to do, and it does it. A use case I can give is I'm trying to do an offline edtech thing. Basically something you can ask anything about education, but it doesn't rely on the internet. That I'll download any of these models, Gemini 1, 2, 3 or whatever, GPT 1, 2, 3 or whatever, Claude, any of the versions of the models, go to Hugging Face, download it. Then I go in the background, play with it, tell it, and then I create my own chatbot. I've done that, but I don't have time to go through it. Okay, that's why these excel.
Now, if you create an offline model, now what is it using to give you feedback?
So that's the thing.
Where is it getting the data?
That's the thing. These things are trained. When you hear training, it has all the info in there. It has, but now you train it. Now I think that's why let's go back to Gemini. A thing like this is this model in the background that's been trained to say answer anyone's question. Okay, GPT is a GPT model in the background that's been trained to say answer anyone's question, right? But I can get that same model in the background and tell it only answer in Chinese. You see, that's the prompt engineering you hear, that's the fine tuning you hear, that's the RAG you hear. Okay, the thing itself already has the knowledge. The same way you download. Let's go back to Adobe Photoshop. Remember before they made us pay Adobe CC that's online right now, you could download the thing offline and it works. But these days they make you pay for it. Microsoft Word, you could download it offline, it works. But these days they make you go online for the same thing. So that's how they also work. The thing itself can still work offline. It's just that for it to be more powerful and to do all these things, they put it online because they have better servers, they have better ways of. But you can also download it. It may not be as good, and you have to tell it what to do. It's like a damn raw version. You have to tell it what to do now because it's like you're getting the thing from scratch. It has not been told anything. It's just the model with all the info. It knows all the books. It knows all the things that people train, and that's why there are different versions. You find that one has been trained on coding. That means this one knows all the code. It doesn't know what to do with that code, but it knows all the code. You may find one that is image. It has been trained on a lot of images. It doesn't know what to do. So you download it. It has all the images. It has all the database. But now you are the one to tell it, okay, I want to feed you images of MRIs, and then you make it really good at picture like a kid. You get a kid, then you train the kid really good at math. The kid can still do math, but you now direct it. That's what fine-tuning. That's technical stuff, but I just want to go into it briefly. In that you can get any of these models, any of them, the GPTs, the Geminis, the whatevers, the DeepSeeks, the Microsoft Phi, and each is specialized in a special thing. You download it, you tell it what to do. Mistrals, what? There are so many models. This is where now Grok. I even didn't talk about Grok. There's Grok with a Q, and then there's Grok with a K. I don't know who copied.
Never use Grok, please.
Yeah, Grok is dumb. But there's Grok with a Q also. This one here. This one is more AI. Sorry, more programmer focused. So that's a bit about models in the background. You can get them, you can fine tune them. Now, a use case for models in the background. Let's say Baros, right? Baros Incorporated, right? You have data on construction and investment. All your clients' data, all your whatever data, all your, and then I want to create a chatbot that answers clients' questions based on your data, okay, and make it really good on construction and finance data. Like I want it to be the best, whereby if I ask it anything to do with construction and real estate finance, It can give you your experience. It's like I'm talking to Baros, right? The way to do that is I would go get a model. Let's see. Let me see. Models ranking. Harding face. I would get a model, the raw version. This open LLMs, that's what they mean by open LLMs. Right now they are telling me the best is SQL Llama. Llama is Facebook's thing. It was the first one to do this, give models for free. And then Google, then Quen, you can see the rankings, okay? So let's say I get Llama. It's the one most people use. I get Llama, download it, right? Offline, right? Then I get your data, all the data of Baros. Every single thing you've ever written, every book, every lecture, every talk you've ever given. I get as much data as you have, right? I get the data, I get Llama. I combine them. I'm like, okay, Llama, here's Baros's data. Okay? I do some fine-tuning. What fine-tuning? That's what you pay LLM engineers for. And then at the end of the day, you'll have a Llama model that can do what ChatGPT is doing. But when I go and ask it, what's the best investment in it will give me an answer that's based on Baros's data. That's the use case of these models offline. Take it to MTN. If I want a model, which right now it's happening, when I call any customer care, Masanyalaze Telecom, I'm not talking to a human. I'm talking to AIs first, and they are really good. Those people are not using, okay, maybe they might, but how you do that is you get a model like this one that can speak. I don't know if this one can speak, but there are those that can speak. You know, you get a model, you download it, you throw all of MTN's data, all the phone call transcripts, and then you fine tune it. It takes time. You keep training it that if someone asks this, you reply like that. If someone asks this, you reply like that. That's the fine tuning here. Okay? And then at the end of the day, I get that model, put it on MTN's computers somewhere, be hard disk somewhere, and then they will have a model that can answer people based on MTN's data without them paying ChatGPT or OpenAI or anyone. Okay, that's the biggest use case for me I'm seeing for these things. That I can come develop. Ronald Ocho has his company and he has his data. He just gives me the data in whatever format, all the data. It may take a while to clean that data and put it in a format that the model will understand. But when I finally do it, I get that data, get a model, whatever model I choose. Most of them are really good. Quens, Vichy, DeepSeek, Gemini, they are free ones. The most free good ones are the Llamas and Gemma models by Google. Okay? GPT doesn't put out the good ones for free because, you know, they have kids and they need money. But the big companies, they do big things. The things are nice and they give them out for free. I get a model like Llama from Facebook. I throw in Ocho's data and then I give him a chatbot that's answering data based off that doesn't have to pay. Okay? The other way to do that is I can get ChatGPT also as well to do it. But then I have to keep paying ChatGPT for tokens. If people talk a lot, I can also do that but using their model that's hosted on their PCs. But I can also do that by downloading a model that's on my PC, literally teach it what I want it to do and how I want it to speak. Then I put it out into the world. Okay, that's the biggest use case companies are using these things for. It's called RAG. Basically what it means is you get your own data, tell the AI answer based off this data. Every answer you give me, make sure it's from this data. Every answer you give me, make sure it's from the logs of Baros Incorporated. Okay, so if it's telling people about how to invest in real estate, to only talk about your kind of real estate, not American or you know, ATM's real estate. To talk about how Baros talks about it, how, you know, that's the biggest use case I'm thinking for what? For LLMs and companies. Okay, any questions up to this point? Okay, now I've gone through most of, we're not going to cover all this today. I've gone through most of this, so let me cover the most interesting thing. Prompt optimizers. This was given to us by our AGI lecturer. I've had most of you talk about prompt optimizers. Now, Tebandeke, you will benefit a lot from this one. This is Claude's prompt optimizer. bookmark it. It is technical. But basically the R is, instead of telling ChatGPT optimize my prompt, you tell this. This is also by ChatGPT. This is the first one is Claude. This is ChatGPT's. Basically, instead of me coming to Claude and tell it, build me, okay, no, you are a developer, write me good code to create a trading bot, right? I would instead write that here in the prompt optimizer. Okay, I can decide the model to do the prompt. I can decide the complexity of the prompt, concise, technical, and then I click generate. Add any constraints, make sure I say whatever it is you want to add, right? And then you generate action. This thing will give me a prompt that is detailed. There's something called short prompting that I won't go into, but when you give, of course you have to edit it because it's a long ass prompt, okay? But this is mainly for, but it's a long ass prompt. But when you paste this at the beginning of your conversation with these AIs, the answers it gives you, because like I said in the beginning, they are really capable. We just need to now pull that capability out of them, like learn how to get that capability out of them. And this is their way. This is by them. They are the ones who develop these things for people. Just to tell you, hey, if you want to speak to our thing, this is how you speak to it to get the best out of it. So, can see it's even, actually, let me paste the same thing in GPTs. So, I use the Claude one because the prompts are optimized for Claude. But even the GPT one works, but it's not as strong, okay? This one gives you short, funny prompts. So it's optimizing, they take a while, but at the end of the day, this is what Claude has given me. Look at the detail of this prompt. Let's just go through it for a short while. You are an expert. Remember what I typed? You're a developer, write me code even in wrong English. Write me code, vichi trading bot. This is what comes big. You are an expert software architect, quantitative trading developer with a deep expertise. You specialize in vichi. That's the system role. I won't get into this, but in the background, AIs need to understand what a system role is, what a task description is. Then it tells it what to do now. Design a complete ready trading bot with many relevant. Then it gives it the background. The trading bot is analyzing. It gives it the requirements. Gives it the technical. Use Python. Use these are things you forget when you're just typing your prompt in here. And then make sure the bot is you will not. You see. Tells you the methodology, how to do it, data modules, okay? The approach, modality, extensibility, reliability, performance, then tells it even how to write the code. Start with, then like it goes and goes and goes and goes and goes, okay? Output requirements, what's expected of the output, a config, Python file, it gives it usage examples. This is short prompting. Basically, you tell the AI, do it like this, like this, like this. Examples, documentation, code quality, tells it, make sure, follow PEP 8 None of you has ever told an AI to do this. You're asking it to write code, but none of you has ever told it to follow these regulations. These are things we miss when we are prompting these things. But for them, they don't. So if I throw this prompt into an AI, this prompt is designed for Claude 4 or past. You can change this. Okay, because you can just copy this or just download. When you download it, it's a TXT file. It's a TXT file that you can just edit. It's a TXT file like this. So you just edit, remove what you don't want, and then copy this and paste that here. And then start your project. Everything this model is going to do now will be so accurate. You may not even need to tell it anything else. You may just come back and it has done the whole task. This is how I create trading bots. This is how I do entire projects. This is how okay? Now let's take a look at the same example, but what GPT gave me. Look, it's just 4 lines. Begin with concise checklist. Here you accept trading bot. You see, it's not as detailed as the Claude optimizer. Okay, so what I usually do is get this optimized prompt, edit it, remove what I don't want, throw it in Gemini, because Gemini is also really good at context. These ones are for when I want, the GPT ones are for when I want simple things, like it's not really technical, I just want it maybe to be accurate in defining my coursework or whatever. These ones are too basic. Like I said, GPT is, I don't recommend that thing. But this, you can also use it, but this is an optimized prompt, and you can of course copy it and edit as you wish. These are your most powerful tools. Before you, instead of now just talking into Gemini, instead of talking directly into, first talk into these ones. Optimize the prompt. You can make it less sophisticated. Me, I did the maximum. This technical, intermediate. You can make it a basic prompt. You can make it comprehensive. You can use Claude Force on it, so that it's not this. It's not 1,000, But, and then you paste that into your chatbots, and then they will get the best, most maximum use out of them. That's where I'm going to end that. But before that, I want to show you guys how deep these prompts can go and what you should be scared of. Last year, first of all, these things, professors, researchers, mathematicians, those guys are going to be jobless. These things can do research now, like a full publish. One of our assignments, we published a full paper. I told it to scrape the internet, find me research papers, which it did, and downloads the PDFs. But where was this? This was assignment 1. It did a full research paper for me. This was Claude that did this. But what I'll show you here is this, the prompt that we use. This prompt was given to us by our professor. But if I paste this prompt in a document, it's a 27-page document. This is one longest prompt. This is what people are using these things for. Yada yada yada. A guy writes a one longest prompt. I swear to God, I ran this prompt, I walked away. It will run for like 2 days, but when it's okay, not 2 days, for like hours. But there are guys who have prompts that run for 2 days. But when the thing is done, it has published a research paper better than you. It has coded an entire when you hear people getting scared of AI, these are the things people are doing. The guy runs his 7-page prompt and is done. The professor told us he went for those math Olympiads. The guys will just run a prompt for all these mathematic kids trying to do math in and the thing will do math that people have never seen of. Just want you to know that this also exists. It's a long ass prompt, so detailed, file structure, the deliverables. I ran this prompt and what came back was all this code, MD files, ready to submit things, research papers, templates, this is what came back. And I just copied this, and this is a full research paper, by the way. If you're with these things of unpublished papers, these things are not gonna matter. People haven't yet caught up, but and I can produce 70 papers right now if you want. That was one assignment. The second assignment was the trading bot I told you. Let me see what prompt I ran to create that trading bot. This one. Kalshi trading bot prompt. It was a 7. Your task is to design data. It was a 7-page prompt. Okay. I ran that and it created for me a trading bot which ran on Kalshi demo. I was using the demo account because the assignment wanted us to use a demo account. Okay. But I just need you guys to know that these things can do that now. You just need to first of all have let me give you this. Let me give you this. What you can do. Oh, you can't paste documents here. What you can do is, what I usually do is, I had this prompt from the beginning, right? So what I usually do when I want to do anything else, let's say this is a research prompt, it's detailed, it's long, but if I want to write a prompt this detailed for, let's say, creating a bot, I paste this prompt into, where am I paste this thing in something like Gemini, or even in here in the prompt optimizer. Okay, I paste this long prompt into, and then I tell it customize this prompt. Change this prompt, but for this kind of task. So it gives me a prompt that's this detailed, but for a different type of task. I don't know if you guys understand, but
You see, Emma, this is actually quite interesting. I have attempted something in the past, but I didn't know about the actual optimization bit. So I went this direction where I basically took like a weekend just to write bullets of what I wanted to do. So I was basically doing something like, I want this thing to do this should be the feature and certain things. Like I put down like 50 points of requirements of the software, something like that. Yeah. Then like, of course, seeing this now, I see that I actually took a much longer process, because now I took all of that text file, gave it to Claude. I asked it to analyze it and then do for me a requirement specification, something like that. Then of course it blew out into a whole big project, a whole big document. But of course now, after that document, then of course you have to go now and actually begin the actual development of this software.
Yeah.
But seeing this, it actually appears like after getting all of that, it actually makes sense that you can prompt it in a nice way that you can even tell how to best approach the thing for you, to even make sure that whichever code it is generating actually makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Coherent, it's making, so
exactly.
It's actually good, because most times where we struggle is that you fail to get what you want, then you end up talking to the AI over 6 times because you're trying to correct it.
Exactly.
So you keep saying, no, I meant this other thing, but no, you did it wrong. Now you go back.
Exactly. So exactly what you say. Even me, that's what I did. I wrote down for the Kalshi trading bot. I wrote down what I want. So a trick I would tell you, for you Baros who's doing a PhD. One, use first of all these things. Go to these tools. Baros, I don't know if you're seeing. Always do deep research, or use Canva. Even in GPT, I think it's there. Okay, I don't have the paid one. But always click this deep research button. This. If you're a student, always go to study mode. I don't know where it is, but there's this one. Learning. If you're a student, go to learning. But if you're doing, either use research, or even Gemini has it. Perplexity, we haven't talked about Perplexity, but Perplexity is a search engine. I won't it's just the first guy to do search engine. But now Google has AI mode, so you would rather use that than Perplexity. Google also has now but I think
which prompt optimizer did you recommend? Because I quickly went to Claude here and asked itself to take me to a prompt optimizer.
Just use these links
to somewhere.
Use the links. It's hard because so many people have developed. It's hard to find the legit one. Use the links I've pasted. Let me paste them again. This is the Claude one. Just bookmark these, because if you Google prompt optimizers, it will take you to a lot of things. Just bookmark these ones. These are by them. You can see the URL starts with Claude.ai. But if you Google prompt, they'll give you Bugai's tools that they developed. And this is the GPT one. Use these. Bookmark those are the legit ones. Anyway, what was I saying? So Perplexity is a search engine. It also has deep research. So a guy like you, Baros, what I would do, right? Even if I want to write a paper, even if I want to create like this Kalshi trading board, this was taught to us by our professor. It's a good trick for any of you to have in whatever it is you're doing. The first thing you should tell it is write a prompt, go to Claude Optimizer, let it write a prompt, and let it do research. You can do like Benard. Write down 50 points about what you want, right? Then let it ground, even Mike, who's trying to do a chatbot, let it first ground what it's going to do in research. So you can tell it, find research papers about this thing. Okay? It will find those research papers. You can even download them. Okay? Then you download those research papers, and then you tell it whatever it is you're going to do, base it on this research so that it doesn't hallucinate. Okay? For your final, I don't know if you produce papers for CFA, for your final project. Then to ground whatever it's going to do in research. Okay, that's what I did for culture. I first got a bunch of papers on trading bots. These are published research papers from archive and the latest in the field. Then I told based on these papers, and then I gave it some more context. I gave it some GitHub repos, I gave it other things. I'm like, now build me a trading bot. So when it does that, it's building something that first of all is you can trust because it's based on research, and secondly it's state of the art. You know, it's not going to, because if you just tell it to build, it can hallucinate and build you nonsense. Apostle even told it, when you see tell you you're right, that means you're in trouble. It has been giving you nonsense all the time, you see. But when you go on it to research, I've done things like that where I tell Claude something and Claude assures me that Benard Baros, it's like this actually, but it can only tell you that if you've grounded it in research. And that's one approach. Now, how we actually do this, of course, all this wasn't done using web UIs. I didn't drag and drop these things in the, that would be a topic for maybe the other meeting. But you can also interact. Remember, I told you these models. These models, most of us are interacting with them from the chatbot interface. Okay, this, you go in, type a word. Okay, but again, they don't do only that. You can interact with them in so many other ways. One of those ways is called a CLI, command line. So if I open this, I can open the same Claude. You see, I'm opening Claude, but now not from a CLI. So not from a chatbot interface. Okay, let me do this. I'm not opening, it's the same Claude. It's the same models. This is Claude. This is also Claude 4.6 Opus, Claude 4.6 Opus, but in different ways. This is a chatbot interface. This is back end. Now, why this back end, Tebandeke, this may be useful to you and any other programmer, and even Arnold actually, and even you guys, you resource guys. Why this is useful is now when I open it like this in a terminal, I can tell this thing, read this folder, assignment 3. Read the folder. I opened it in a folder. I opened it in this folder called documents. Read the folder and give me a brief about what it's about. Short brief. Okay, it will read that folder. Oh, API error. I think I hit my limits. Wait, no. Oh shit, I haven't yet. Where am I?
It's probably not synced with your web account.
Okay, let's that's actually a good thing. Let's do this Calci agent. Okay. So first of all, what I've just done exists for Claude, exists for Gemini. Let's do Gemini. Okay, let me open all of them. Exists for all these models that I've been telling you about. Gemini, GPT, Claude. I don't know DeepSeek, I haven't installed it, but even for Mistral. So let's open for the GPT one is called Codex. This one needs me to update it. And my new favorite one is the Mistral one. They call it Vibe. What I'm basically doing, by the way, is this is like me opening these. I've opened GPT, I've opened Mistral, but this time I've opened them on my folder. Okay, into my folder. This is Gemini. But now this Gemini, I can tell it quickly, read this folder and tell me what it's about in a short sentence. You see, I can do the same with Mistral. Quickly read this folder and tell me what it's about briefly. Okay, now chatbot interfaces, which is how most of you guys interact with these things, can't do this. They can't read your folder, they can't read your documents, you see, but this one can. So Gemini tells me this is a continual trading bot for Calci market featuring inner loop, outer loop, self-improvement. Okay, Mistral has told me this is the Calci trading bot designed for, you see, I just opened it and directed it to this folder. Okay, it doesn't stop there. Now all these prompts that I was showing you, the 27-page prompt, I wasn't running those prompts in this Claude AI chat VC, in this no, because they can't do anything. I was running them from this backend. We shall go into the detail on how to put this maybe in the next meeting. But now I can paste this, okay? Because when I'm using these chatbots from this interface, they can create files. You Baros, who's blowing tokens, creating PDFs from, they can create files easily. They can read files easily. So I can tell this Gemini, be like, read the agent folder, this folder here, agent. Read the agent folder and do research based on that folder. I can tell it, I can even tell it, read this CSV file. Someone here complained that you can't paste CVSs in, because again, chat interfaces are built for the Kayola, but the backend is built for technical people. If you can open these things in a CLI, which if you just Google how to install Gemini or Claude or whatever CLI, you type this word, command line interface, you will find a YouTube tutorial that will show it to you. Very easy to do, you know. Me, I'm on Linux, but on Mac, on Windows, very easy to do. But the thing with this is it can now manipulate your folder. This is the next stage of what you hear, agentic AI. I have my invoices in a folder. I can just open Gemini on the folder, tell it first, tell me about these invoices, or first create this invoice to this, or first, like, you can literally do anything. Let's go through a demo. Who would want to see a demo of what? Give me an idea of what these things can do to you. It can create documents, it can read documents, it can I don't know how far to go. Let's say, but of course I'll go in deep in this on another meeting, but I just want to put it out there for you. I don't have my invoices on this thing. Let me see, I have a WASI folder here. No, I don't have my invoices on this but let's take this. This has 2 CSV files, right, and some notes, right? So I open whatever model. Let's even use GPT because it's the dumbest. Let's use GPT. It's called Codex. Okay, I allow, I tell it, understand the files in this folder and tell me what they are briefly. These I usually like to start just to see if it's understanding, but you can, then it will read the files, it will tell me, and then this is where shit gets scared. Let's say these are, if let's say your job is to merge Excel files in, Mike has gone off, but a guy who's doing a report, I just open it, give it the name of the report, read the report, whatever minister's report, okay? It is here, here's the brief, it's a cattle, bichi. Now I can tell it to merge the files while removing duplicates. Okay, it can do that, and to export, got it, merge the files, and then I just tell it which files. They merged all Excel files in except this is a huge, and I tell it, wait, which files will be merged? All Excel files in this folder or specific ones? Okay, let's say all files in this folder. Only take, let me be specific, only take the first 10 rows and return those first 10 rows merged into one file. And remember, this is GPT, it's the dumbest, so it may even fuck up, but if you're doing this with Claude, trust me. So how is this applying to you? This is now your PA's you see, it has created the file. It's here, merged 10 Excel file. How long did that take? Done. How long did that take? It's here. Let me even first open it. It is here. It has taken the first, I told it 10 rows. 10 rows, just like that. It has merged them and created for me an Excel file. Merged from these two. Do you get? And these are just what do I call them? These are just the layman tools. Like, this is what's available to everyone. These are not even specialized. There are tools where a guy will throw the whole folder at the company and tell it, write for me invoices, write this guy, do this, delete this, remove this, merge it to this. there are tools for that. Actually, no, not these are the tools for that. Okay, just to show you how far these things can go. Apart from the chatbot interface, write an email as friendly as my boss or whatever, they can also do this for you. Okay, it's not complicated. You're doing basically the same thing, except here it's on a different level. You open your folder, tell it what you want to do on the folder. Get me this invoice, could add up all these invoices. What's my annual revenue based on all this? Like literally whatever it is you think. As long as it has, you've directed it to the folder you want it. It can create files. I've told it to create an Excel file. You can create, I've told it to create PDFs before. All these code things it writes. Zip the files. Create a folder and do it this. Like it can do all that stuff. Okay? So that now leaves a question to you guys of future use, and this is when you hear news of AI, this is what they are doing. These things can actually do that now. And this again, GPT, the one that I've not even paid. Now imagine what Claude can do. I've showed you what Claude can do. What Claude can do is I direct it. I open a folder like this. Let me walk you through what I did for this currency trading bot. I opened a folder. I first told GPT, because by then I was paying for it. I'm like, get me all the research papers on trading. It got me papers, a bunch of papers. Where are they? A bunch of research papers. Here, PDFs. I'm like, okay, I had a PDF of research papers. Then I opened Claude. I'm like, based on the research papers in this folder, research papers, build me a trading bot. That's when I threw it that long prompt. I threw it in here in the UI. In this CLI. Then it started building the bot, created Python files, did things, even ran the things and told me, okay, your thing is live. All I had to do was open a browser and paste HTTP 800 and my thing was live. That's how I built the Lava Party game. That's how I built, like, you no longer have to do anything. Then from there I just keep telling it, oh, the visualization is not working, it adds. Recently it's even doing Git commits for me. I just tell it, no, add this, it adds. Delete this, it deletes. Send it to GitHub, it sends. Delete this file, it deletes. You no longer have to do anything. Okay? I'll get maybe into detail of that if you guys need, but I just want to let you guys know what's capable, what's out there, and I think I'm going to end it there today. I'm going to be making this monthly, so I'll be waiting for you guys' feedback in case you want to, I don't know, Baros or someone should help me create, Lucid actually. Lucid, can you help me create a WhatsApp group? I prefer Instagram because chats there don't get lost. But can you help me create a WhatsApp group and put guys here so that there we can discuss what maybe we should cover next, what we should dive into deeper, and how to, use some of these things for your own actual work out there. Most of this info, if you go to YouTube and search how to install Claude CLI in Windows, there'll be videos. Okay, and you can even do that for ChatGPT CLI. You can even do that for Mistral. But what that does, it gives you access to these same models, but for this case, these models can create files for you. They can read files. They can do all these things without you having to really do much.
So if you have access to the model, that means it doesn't impact on your token since it's running within what you have, or it still also has an impact on the token?
Yeah, it still has. It's because for GPT, all I know is yes, it still has tokens. The one thing I've seen though is they don't know about each other. That if I use Claude in the CLI and I do something, if I go back to Claude the chatbot, this web interface, it doesn't know. The history doesn't appear here. So they're like, it's the same models, but they're like two different. It's the same account of yours.
It's like the most secure way of running AI without sharing your company data. It's just working within the context of your machine.
Exactly. Because I've done things here, and then I go to the chatbot, the interface, and I'm like, hey, do you remember us working on cow sheets? Like, nope. But the token limits still apply, that even this will hit token limits if it's doing a lot. But the good thing with this is, unlike Baros's thing where it's producing the PDF and the PowerPoints, I can even just direct it to the PowerPoint. I don't know how well it edits the PowerPoints. I've not tried that because it's mainly good at text. I don't know how, but you can direct it to a PDF, to a document, to a, like, you just, it does all the things. Docs, you tell it, okay, usually you see all these MD files. When after I'm done a session, I tell it, oh, produce a report of what we've done here today, export the report. All these reviews, all these are generated by GPT. So after a session, let's say, I don't know what use cases you guys may have, but let's say you've done some things. It's always a good practice to ask it to generate a report of everything we've done here today and export that report. So next time, because the moment you close that CLI, it doesn't keep chat history. It's not like you go back to the web interfaces that usually do and you open chat and see the history. It doesn't do that. You can ask it to understand what's going on in the folder. It will understand and read the folder, but it won't remember that you told it to code to That's why I usually generate a report, so that a report tells, the next time I log in, it tells what we've been doing. Okay. Any other questions, feedback? But yeah, this is.
Hey, Kasigazi, I have a question. I usually like to take the lazy man's approach to technology. Sometimes I'm considered technophobic, but I still want the results.
Yes.
Now, I know AI is a powerful thing, and yes, at this point we can get into trying to learn the technology of AI and how to use it. Right now, that's what's hot. But if we think about what we can do with AI or with the backing of AI, that's why I want to focus. Yes, I have all this technology. How does it bring money into my pocket with the least effort possible? I don't know if that's a subject you can look into. One that's not too technical, but
yes,
so a lot of application to maybe my business.
Yes. Now, the one thing I can't do is it does not know it knows a lot, but it doesn't know your context, it doesn't know your life, it doesn't know your business. So the only thing I can speak to that is what I have been doing. It may not directly make you money, but it can save you time first and foremost, and also do things faster. Let me give you my case scenario. I'm supposed to do data analytics, basically open Excel files, clean them, blah 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 blah. But with AIs, I no longer have to do that manually. I just open something like this. I was trying to show you Google's anti-gravity. Tebandeke talked of Casa, but I would recommend you also try out anti-gravity, because unlike Casa, anti-gravity has agents. It will open things, click things, move things. Like, it actually tests your thing for you. Casa will just give you code. Anti-gravity runs the thing, tests the thing, executes the thing, like it's agents. Okay. But such a thing, I would normally I would open this, look at it, clean, copy files, but now I just open something, tell it, hey, read this, do this, do this, do this, and within 2 hours I do something that would have taken me 7 days. That's one money saving aspect. Okay. Then now I can use my other extra time to do other projects, create trading bots, create whatever. Then the other one, which I'm trying to see, because I don't know, like I do know, but I know Ugandans, it takes time to find the use case of these things to your particular life or business. That's why I tell you, the best thing you can do right now is start using them. Start using the CLI. See how fast within there somehow you realize, but wait, if I put this thing on this thing and within there you realize, because just like how a computer, no one knew, hey, or internet, no one knew that, hey, this is how you make money from internet. But the more people used it, some guy was like, but wait, if I develop a website for people to rob things, they call it torrents, I can make money. You see, there's no one use case. So this is a revolution. It's not a tool, it's a revolution. Like the industrial revolution, like the internet revolution, this is a revolution. So there's no saying that chechi. It's not like saying when let's say phones came that I can make money from selling phones. That was one thing. This is not a thing. This is a revolution. How you make money from that, we don't know yet. Because how, like, people didn't know how to, internet was around in the 70s. People didn't know how to make money from it. It's up to when people started doing emails, then Google, then people like, then, you know. So even now, there's no one that, hey, here's a thing that, but the more you use it, the more you realize, hey, but by the way, on this thing, I can use it to do this and make me money. It's the platform on which, actually, there's even a talk I saw. These things may eventually turn into operating systems of their own. Claude has already done this. I have a great LinkedIn post on that. So I can't really say that, hey, here's how you make money. All I can say is just like the internet, just like the industrial revolution, just like a computer. You see, no one can tell you, hey, a laptop can make you money like this. No, but the more you start using it is when you realize, oh, that's how I would think about it. Don't look at it as maybe chino chizimbe chigenda kunzira mu sente. Look at it like a computer, like the internet. Like, there's no one fits all, but the more you use it to your business, the more you figure out. The more you be like, oh okay, one also it one. I'll use the laptop for designing graphics. You'll use it for doing video. You're using it for designing article. That person is using it for coding. You see, that's exactly what this thing is. I'll use it for doing Excels. He's using it for designing code. You use it for doing reports. Cedric will use it for designing graphics for Fanero. Felix will use it for designing games for. So, but the key point is use the thing. That's what I would say. Just use the thing. Try out all these things I've said today. The more you use them, you realize, oh, this thing can actually save me here. Oh, this thing can actually create for me this. Or this thing can actually create for me a workflow where I don't need this other worker, sorry to say, but some people get laid off. Like, that has to be figured out from your industry and from the use cases. Because I didn't even know, till last semester, I didn't know it could produce for me trading bots. I found that out last semester. But that's been months of using it. Before that, I thought it's only correcting text and grammar and doing Google research for me and yada yada yada. But now I know it can actually sit here and create for me invoices. Now I know it can actually create for me. Let me try to think of something for use case. It can simulate for you, I don't know, maybe projects for your clients. It can generate, because I don't know your business flow. I don't know that. Maybe if we talk, maybe and you take me through your whole business flow, how you do business, maybe I would understand why it could help. Be like, okay, Wano, it can do that, or Wano, it can remove that, or Wano, you can sell it like this, or Wano. But that will take time. Maybe we shall talk about that next time. And that applies to all of you.
So basically what I understand, it's a productivity hack.
For now, that's what we know.
So whatever you do in your business, ask yourself, can I do this using AI?
That's so far now, but it can do way more than that. For educators, it's creating freaking research papers. For traders, it's creating for me a trading bot that can actually automatically make me money. I don't know how to trade, but I know how to create the bots that trade. You see. But it's not something that you can sell. You can build a product on top of it and sell it. I can go to MTN, create a chatbot that can answer customers' calls for them in Uganda. That's all seated on AI. I can sell that chatbot and MTN pays me. You see. You can create things on top of it that you can sell to other people that they may need. I can create for you a Baros Tech, I don't know, task optimizer or whatever thing. And you pay me for your company to use it. It's seated on AI. So that's another like direct money making thing. You can create a product on top of the AIs that you can sell to a client. Just like how maybe I'll create, I don't know, a Facebook that I sell to people on top of internet. So what you do on top of this, right now we're just using it as a productivity app, just like the internet in the 90s. People are just using it for email and they didn't know you could make money off it. Years later, people realized, oh, wait, I can actually sell even my products on Gundi, eBay, Shopify, all those come up later. So for right now, the whole world is just seeing it as a productivity hack, but it can actually do more. We don't know what that more is. Some know already. Some have created so many tools. Some are already making money, but most of us don't know how it can come to our particular business.
Cool.
All right, gentlemen, I've taken up 2 hours of your time. Thank you for attending. Cedric is going to create the group. It's called MADS. Hoping to make this monthly. I'll set up a reminder. Next time maybe I'll dive deeper into CLIs. I haven't even dived into IDEs, but that's for technical people, and we can actually see how to use these things. These things are doing insane things. And then now, since you have some tools, now when you go out into like your workplace, you see where this thing can help you. The more we have this, it's hard to explain now, but the more we have this, the more you will see it. You will get that eye, because it's all about having the eye. You see something, you're like, this could probably, okay? That's my goal with this. And the more of course I understand your businesses and your use cases, and then we can try to create something customized to you. Otherwise, mbere bulungi.
Yes, thanks a lot. Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Sawa.
Good night, everybody. Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night.